Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well. This is a short video to present the new version of Bagisto Visual. For those who may not be aware, we recently released a new version of the Bagisto Visual Editor with two major improvements. The first one is about how themes are built, with the introduction of a new block system that allows much more advanced customization of store pages. We are no longer limited to what the theme originally provided. The second one, and you may have already noticed it, is that we completely rewrote the editor interface to make it much more flexible and to greatly improve the editing experience. So in this video, I will start with a quick overview of the new interface, and then we'll see what the new block system allows us to do. Okay, let's go. So now we have three panels. The first panel on the left displays the block structure of the page we are currently editing. With drag and drop, we can modify the page structure. Then, in the middle, we have the preview area, which allows us to see in real time the changes we are making to the page. And finally, the panel on the right displays the configuration options of a block. So when I select a block, I can see its options here and adjust them to get what I want. But this panel is not always displayed on the right. On smaller screens, it is displayed on top of the blocks panel. For example, if I resize the window, it will appear here. I can go back to the blocks panel by clicking back. This helps keep enough space for the preview area. Now let's take a look at what has changed in the header. We still have the ability to choose the preview area dimensions to see how the page looks on different screen sizes. Mobile view, tablet view, desktop view. But now, I can also define my own custom dimensions. For example, I can set it to 500, and the preview area will have a width of 500 pixels. But I'll stay on auto mode. You can see that the 500 pixels option is now available in the list. Next, there is a new button that allows you to enable or disable inspection mode. When inspection mode is enabled, we can interact with blocks or sections directly from the preview area. For example, when I hover over this block, I can insert a new block here. And when I select a block, there is a floating menu that appears with options to move the block up or down. And finally, there is another new button that allows you to preview the page in a new tab. This lets us see what users will actually see. Now let's look at the blocks panel. Here, we now have three zones that you can customize however you want. That means that in each zone, you can add, remove, or reorder sections. The header and footer zones are shared across all pages, while the main zone only applies to the page you are currently editing. In the previous version, there was already a separation of zones, but the header and footer zones were static. That means that here, I couldn't add a new element. I was limited to what the theme originally planned for the header and footer. With this new version, that limitation is gone. If I want to add, for example, a new announcement bar that will be available on all pages, I can just add it. And when I go to the category page, it's also available there. Now I can fully customize the header and the footer. I just need to add more sections. Next, we have a contextual menu. So when I right-click on a section, a menu appears with some nice options. The first option is the ability to copy a block and paste it somewhere else. For example, let's say I spent some time customizing this section, the hero banner, and I realized that I would also like to have this section on the product's listing page. I can just copy it, go to the products page, and use Paste After. And it will be there exactly as I configured it on the home page. I don't need to redo all the work I already did. This option is very useful when you have elements that repeat. You define it once, then you copy and paste it. Then there is the option to duplicate a block. It's like copy, but on the same spot. Then we have options to move the block down or up if possible. Then we have an option to add a section before the current section. And it's the same for the Add After option. There are also these buttons that allow us to add a section at a specific position. So yeah, those are basically the interface changes. Now let's see what the new block system is about. For that, let's go back to the previous version. Here, we mainly have sections, and each section can have child blocks that I can organize inside the section. For example, let's take the Featured Products section. Here, I can only add blocks of type Product. Now, let's say I want to add a button here to see all products. Well, I can't because the theme didn't plan for that, so we quickly become limited. Now with the new block system, I'm not limited anymore. If I want to add text here, I just add it. If I want to add a button here, I just add it. With this system, I can customize each section the way I want. And even better, I can create a brand new section from scratch directly inside the editor. I'll do a quick example. Let's imagine I want a hero banner with two sections, each one with its own image, text, call to action, and so on. Since this type of section doesn't exist, I'll create it myself using the available blocks. First, I'll insert a custom section. You can think of a custom section as a blank canvas where I can do whatever I want. Then I'll add a first group block. Group is a basic element that works as a container. It allows me to group other blocks and control their layout. I wanted to take all the available space, so I go to the sizing section and set the width to 100% and the height to 100%. Not bad, but it still doesn't take all the space. I think that's because by default, the custom section restricts its content to a maximum width. So I'll remove that. Then I go to spacing and set the padding to 0. Now it's good. The group takes all the available space. I'll start by adding my first image. I go to Background to change the background. I have the color option, gradient, and image. That's what I want. I choose my first image and confirm. Now inside the group, I'll add a heading block, it's right there. I'll add a text block, it's also there. And I'll add a button. I'll apply a dark theme here so we can clearly see the text. Now I want the elements to be centered. For that, I go here and choose Flexbox. This allows the group to organize its content vertically or horizontally. I set it to vertical. I set the position to center, the alignment to center, and that's it. Now I'll increase the heading size. I choose Heading 2. And I'll slightly reorganize the text so it's nicely centered. I think that looks fine. So that's it for the first section. For the second section, I'll just duplicate the first one. It appears below, but I want them to be aligned horizontally. So I select my custom section and set the direction to horizontal, and I'll remove the spacing between the two. Now that it's good, I select the second block and change the background image. I could also change the text, but you get the idea. Basically, the advantage of this new block system is that you can build your own layouts directly from the editor. You are not limited anymore by what the theme ships. I'll do another quick example. Let's take this section that displays a list of products. By default, the product card looks like this. If that doesn't work for you, you can customize it. So I go to Product Card and modify it. Let's say I want to add a button here to add the product to the cart. I click on plus and add the Product Button block. It appears here. I'll adjust it a bit. So now all product cards in this section will have this layout. And that's it. I'll preview it in a new tab, even if what I did here is not really amazing. I really hope you enjoyed the video and that you'll have fun with this new version. I just want to point out that this is still a product under development, and it's possible that you may encounter some bugs. Feel free to report them so we can keep improving the product. Bye!